Once, a child went to visit his grandfather during the summer holidays. One day, he said to his grandfather, "When I grow up, I want to become a successful man. Can you tell me some ways to be successful?" The grandfather nodded and took the boy to a nearby nursery. From the nursery, his grandpa bought 2 plants and brought them back home. He planted one plant in a pot and kept it inside the house, while he planted the other one outside. The grandfather then asked, "Which do you think will grow better in the future?" The boy thought for a moment and said, "The plant inside the house will grow better because it is safe from danger, while the plant outside is at risk from many things like strong sunlight, storms, animals, and other things." The grandfather smiled and said, "Let's see what happens in the future." A few years later, the boy visited his grandfather again. When he saw his grandfather, he said, "Grandpa, last time I asked you for ways to be successful, but you didn't tell me anything. This time, you have to tell me." The grandfather smiled and said, "Sure, but first, let's look at the plants we bought a few years ago." The grandfather took the boy to where he had planted the small plant in the pot. They saw that the plant had grown into a tree. Then, he took the boy to look at the plant that had been planted outside. There, they saw a huge tree with branches spread far and wide, providing shade to the passers-by. The grandfather looked at the boy and asked, "Tell me, which plant grew more? Which is more successful?" The boy replied, "The one we planted outside." "But how is this possible? That plant must have faced so many dangers, yet it grew so big." The grandfather smiled and said, "Yes, the plant outside had to face many challenges, but dealing with problems has its benefits too. The plant outside had the freedom to spread its roots as much as it wanted. Problems like storms made its roots stronger. Today, it is so strong that a small storm can't cause any harm to it." Son, remember this. If you always make comfortable choices, you will not grow as much as you can. If you are ready to face the world despite its dangers, no goal is impossible for you to achieve. Never think of problems as barriers, but as steps toward success. The boy took a deep breath and stared at the tree. He understood his grandpa's words. I hope you have learned something. If you want to learn new lessons like this, subscribe our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you will be the first to know about life lesson stories.